know you.
Hi, Keith.
Cheryl. Morning, Denise.
Morning.
Good morning. Andrew.
Keith, how's it going?
Yeah, I got a couple other people coming online.
Great.
Good to see all you guys early this morning.
It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah. Get up, get early, and comb your head like Gerald.
Oh!
Most of us do it before we come on, but there's a small group of us who
always have a brush handy.
Yeah, who have other commitments. So
Quit picking on me.
yeah, I got nothing.
Have you met Keith?
Rhoda. Good morning, Rhoda.
Morning.
I want to talk to you later today about a business matter.
Okay.
Okay, it's 8:30. We're gonna try to stay on time, keep it rolling. Good morning, all you smiling faces, people who join us. They just joined late, and in the Rand House, we have a rule, like we serve Thanksgiving at 4 o'clock. We start at 4. You come late, that's your problem. Turkey's gone. We don't really care. I got mine. I'm not worried about it. So it's good to see you guys this morning. Couple of quick things, just a couple of quick announcements. Hey, when you do your intro, which we will be doing here, make sure you tell us what city you're from, and also just a reminder, just remind us like what is a good lead for you as you do your intro. So I'm going to go ahead and get started this morning. Our speaker's here, and so as long as the speaker is here and the star of the show is here, the rest of you guys like, hey, we'll keep rolling here. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who managed to show up this morning. And we'll start. The way we like to start this is just do a little quick introduction about CBN. My name is Keith Rand, and I run this organization, which sometimes herds cats, with Gerald Cowan and a couple of good, really fine people by the by. But with that, I'd like to start by giving you all about a minute or so to introduce yourselves. And I'm going to start with the way I see you on my monitor this morning. And I'm just going to start with Kim Gilbert, because she always complains she has to follow Jared. So you're first up, Kim.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Keith. Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Gilbert. I'm from Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire. My business is Gilbert Business Consulting, and I help small businesses, mom and pops, reopen during COVID. And I've been doing that quite a while now, and I was hoping to start pivoting towards helping my tradesmen guys, my home improvement guys, improve their customer experience. But sadly, I think I'm going to be working on the COVID stuff for a little bit longer till we get over this hump. So a good referral for me would be someone who's struggling to reopen, realign, refocus their business in light of COVID, or home improvement contractors that need to improve their communications with their customers. And I'm in Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire, if I didn't say that. Thank you.
Gerald Cowan, please.
My name is Gerald Cowan. I go often by Jerry. That's spelled Jerry. I are a lawyer. I'm in the Indianapolis, Noblesville area, Fishers, Carmel, and in fact, I'm all over the state, and sometimes in other states if I have co-counsel in those estates to make it legal. Suppose I was driving down the road and I got hit by a truck, and I was laid up in the hospital, and all my bank accounts were in my name only, and the court had to go appoint a guardian for me. But if I had a general durable power of attorney in place, that would have saved it. Say I was really, really sick and terminally ill and on the edge, and my family's by my bedside, and they're saying, gosh, we don't know if we should pull the plug or not. We don't know if what Jerry would have wanted done if he would have been this sick and this close to dying. Do we continue to feed him with a feeding tube, or what do we do? And that would not have been a problem if I would have had a living will and a healthcare appointment. And then there's the matter of my inheritance. I mean, who's going to get my money? Well, I didn't have a will. I don't really know who my money is going to go to. Well, I've got some minor children. They're under 18, so there has to be a guardianship appointed for them, which is time consuming and expensive. There's no trust for them to hold the money until they reach 18, until they reach maturity. But if once they're 18, they get all the money, so they each go buy a new Corvette and spend money lavishly all over the world, and within a few days, all the money's gone. Would you like to have that situation in your situation? If not, you need to get your documents done. Motivate and motivate and motivate. Gerald Cowan, Indianapolis. Thank you, Keith, not Frank.
Thank you, Gerald. I hate to do this, but somebody's got to follow Jerry. Rhoda, you're next up, please.
You're muted. Yeah.
I am happy to say that if I get hit by a truck today, I won't have those problems because Jerry has helped me get my affairs in order. So I can feel good about going out and driving today. I'm Rhoda Israelov from Indianapolis, Indiana. My company is Say It For You, and we tell stories in the form of blogs and website content, stories that business owners and practitioners don't have time to tell for themselves. And so we say it for you. Right now, I am looking for two particular kinds of enterprises. One is a family law practice. That means divorce law and adoption law. And also for a retirement community that needs to tell their story to adult children that don't live in the same city as mom and pop. So Rhoda, we say it for you.
Thank you, Rhoda. Mike, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Chambers, coming from northern Indianapolis, Fishers area. Been an independent insurance agent for nearly 50 years. I think I'm in the process of retiring, but my partners seem to not be able to do without me. And I know that's not true, but there's some ulterior motives, I think. But anyway, been a longtime member of CBN, and good to see everyone this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Andrew, if you would, please.
Sure. So I help people who want to eliminate awkward pauses from their conversations. Yes, the elevator pitch is a series of skills to start natural conversations, to keep them going smoothly, and yes, very much end them politely. So right now I'm helping people connect better in Zoom breakout rooms and more generally with virtual business networking. My next free interactive virtual workshop is next Thursday. We're going to be talking about how to stay connected after a first meeting. If you're interested, I can certainly share the link. A great referral for me is a business association or networking group that brings in keynote speakers. My virtual business networking program is pretty popular right now. And I'm Andrew Winning, the elevator pitch coach right outside Boston, Massachusetts.
Thank you, Andrew. I may need some personal coaching so I can get through these things.
So many
Not a
do.
problem.
Thank you.
I'm going to save Denise. I'll let her introduce herself later. Jerry, if you would, please.
Hi, everybody. I am a new attendee, and I was invited by Adele, who happens to not be here today. So, she must have given me her spot, right? I have a business called Franchise Business Source. So I am a franchise business search advisor. There are about 6,000 different franchises out there. And if you have someone who wants to start their own business and they're thinking that they want to go the way of franchises, quite frankly, they don't even know where to start. So I represent a little over 300 different businesses across 20 some industries. And if someone is looking to invest in a franchise business, I guide them through the process from start to finish. I talk to them about what the franchise process, discovery process is, the differences between different types of franchises. I have assessment tools to help them kind of find the right fit, and really, give them interview questions that they need to be thinking about and help them think about developing a pro forma, really from the time they start all the way through until they sign the agreement. Legal partners, funding partners, you name it. So my goal is to help them cut through the clutter and the confusion and help them find something that fits their financial and their personal goals, and something and find something that they can own, grow, and love with all of their heart and be prosperous. And by the way, I'm based here in Columbus, Ohio. So.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Like I said earlier, I'm going to save Denise and let her do her introduction when she does her speaking. So what I'd like to do, I always like to find out something positive that happened in somebody's business this week. So if somebody will give me a minute or so, a couple of minutes of something that positive or something that you might have done either on a business level or a personal level that happened positive this week for you. Andrew.
I can go. So I ran a virtual carnival for kids on last Saturday morning. We had over 60 kids from around the world. We had people from Saudi Arabia and the Philippines and the UK. Like, it was a complete international thing. We kept all of them on the call. They were between like 6 and 11 years old, and we kept them all on the call for 2 hours. We had balloon people and magicians and Peter Reynolds telling stories. It was really fun. Like, it was a nice model for doing these kinds of interactive things during COVID, right? I mean, there's kind of no, I'm wondering how people from Saudi Arabia heard about this thing, but there they were. And so that international piece I really like, and the interactive piece, like people had their mics on, even with 60 people, we were bantering with the kids, and they loved the show. So it was a really fun program. And we raised some money for a shelter box, which helps people in disaster areas when they lose their homes. So it's all a good program.
Put the information about the carnival and also the upcoming event that you want.
Oh, okay, will do. Yep, great.
I had something nice happen where I got an email from someone who said, whose name I did not remember, who said, I met you a couple of months ago at a business spotlight, and I need someone to write white papers and blogs for my technology business. And so now we have our exploratory appointment coming up tomorrow, actually. So nice surprise.
Outstanding. Anybody else got something really? Kim, go right ahead.
So I had a little article posted in the Main Biz online magazine. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And I received a very nice email from some stranger, some nice lady in Maine, thanking me for all the information that I put into the article for her. She said that she used every bit of it. And I was totally floored, because that's the first time anybody's ever been like, hey, thanks so much for writing this stuff, because you spent all this time writing. And I'm sure Rhoda can comment on that. You put all your heart and soul into it, and sometimes you don't get any feedback. So that was a really nice piece of feedback for me. So that was my good bit of news.
Okay, good. Hey, just a quick thought for all of us here. Make sure that you are staying out there, whatever that means to you, on however you're communicating, especially with your existing clients. I'm kind of like you, Kim. I got a note from my client who happens to run Indianapolis Airport. And he sent me a note and said, hey, thanks for staying in contact with us, Keith, because quite frankly, they're missing vendors. Some of their vendors are not communicating with them, and some of them they went dark. So you do a little bit better job of staying in contact with your clients and with other people in your network. So just a reminder, don't fall asleep on that. Anybody else got anything positive they want to tell us about their business or something personal? It doesn't really matter, because we want to make sure that we give Denise an appropriate amount of time. But I always like to take time to have special time with you guys. Hey, you're spending Thursday morning with you. And like I told you before, I could be napping. I wouldn't miss it a bit. So if we've got anything positive, if that's all we've got this morning, I want to make it the Denise Praul show. Denise, if you would just give us about introduction to who you are, and then you can give us your discussion that you're going to do this morning for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, but we didn't hear what you do.
Oh, you did? I own a printing company called First Quality Printing here in Indianapolis. Been around for about 30 years or so. That's what we've been doing, and that's how I make my money this week. So We'll try it again.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
I just wanted to make sure that you got your chance too. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of your group this morning. My name is Denise Praul, and I am the owner of Whiteboard Learning. And what we do at Whiteboard Learning is we help business owners put together a plan to fill their sales pipeline full of referrals that are ready to buy from them. So that's kind of a mouthful. So I'll say it again. We help business owners put together a plan that helps them fill their sales pipeline with referrals that are ready to buy from them. And a little bit about my background. For 22 years, I have owned a property tax consulting company. So I've been an entrepreneur for 22 years. And about the first year in it, if you think about back to 22 years ago, we barely had dial-up internet. So I'll date myself here, but I think a few of you might remember that. The first thing they told you to do was get an ad in the yellow pages and do a direct mail campaign and network. That's what the advice I was given 22 years ago. And that, first of all, was expensive, many of those things. And I was networking like crazy and not getting anything on the other side of it. So I knew that there had to be a different and a better way to do business, or I didn't want to do business anymore. So I discovered referrals. So I joined a BNI chapter, which I've been a member of for 21 years. So that was my first experience with referrals. And so I just became obsessed with how can I bring more referrals through my business, because they stay with me longer, they spend more money, and they cost a heck of a lot less to get. So referrals have been my absolute obsession for the last 21 years. So there's a long path of all my learning through referrals, but the bottom line is what I created in my property tax consulting business that I'd had for 22 years is a system where I can sit at my desk and be making money while other people are sending referrals to me. Conversely, while I'm doing what I do that makes money, I'm sending referrals to others as well. And so the first year that I fully implemented that system into my business, I doubled my business that year with no extra time or money. And so I finally was very grateful that I had created that system and put it together in my business. And then about 7 years ago, I had several business friends say, "Why are you keeping this a secret? Why don't you share this system with us?" And so I started Whiteboard Learning 7 years ago so that I could help other business owners put that system in place that drives those referrals through the door without them spending a lot of money and networking like crazy. So the topic that I shared with Keith today was, are you making it difficult for people to give you referrals? And to be honest, that's the case with most people. We have a tendency when we've met with people, we've networked, we've had coffee meetings, we had lunch meetings, we're Zooming like crazy right now. Why am I not getting more business on the other side of it? We have a tendency to blame the other person. Why aren't they sending me referrals? I thought we had a great relationship. So we start questioning the other person and why they're not doing what we ask them to do. What we need to do is step back and we need to take a look at ourselves first. So what I find is that people spend a lot of time asking for referrals. They spend no time teaching people how to get them referrals. And right there, that is the missing piece. So the first pillar of the system that I train is for you to step back, and I like to call it slow down to speed up, because most people just want to keep going 100 miles an hour forward. Sometimes we need to step back and take a look at our businesses and how we are asking people to help us. So the first step to doing that is getting clear on a target market, an avatar, an ideal client, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it our ideal client. And this is a really scary first step for people, because that means you have to narrow things down a little bit. So instead of anybody or everybody, it's got to be a particular category of people. So one of my favorite examples is residential real estate agents. And so I'll use that as my example today. So if you ever talk to a residential real estate agent and you say, "How can I help you?" They're like, "Well, if you know anybody who wants to buy or sell a house, that's a great referral for me." Generally, they don't go any deeper than that. If they do, sometimes it's like, "If you see anybody that's for sale by owner, that's a great referral for me." When you ask somebody for anybody or everybody, it means nobody. Because if I don't immediately know someone who wants to buy or sell a house, then you're out of luck, right? So what if that real estate agent narrowed it down to, I like to work with couples that are engaged to be married in the next 12 months. So now you can really, your brain starts to really think, instead of anybody or everybody that might want to buy or sell a house. Now your brain's like, who do I know? It's automatic that is engaged to be married in the next 12 months. Oh, my sister's daughter, my niece is engaged to be married. Oh, my friend has a daughter that's engaged to be married. So you now the brain starts to actually start thinking about who you actually know, because I gave you a particular scenario. I gave you a particular person to start thinking about. And now, even if you don't know someone at that time, now it's much easier than somebody buying and selling a house. You've got that in your head, couples that are engaged. So it triggers when somebody says, oh, I'm engaged. It's like, oh, who wanted to meet engaged people? So now it triggers them. So and that does not mean that real estate agent can't do business with anybody else they want to do business with. When you narrow it down, that's just who you're going to be asking for in your marketing. That's who you're going to be marketing to specifically. But if somebody who's an empty nester who comes up to you and says, can you help me sell my house? You'd absolutely say yes. So it's not about eliminating business. It's about narrowing your focus on who you truly want to work with so that others can find a way to help you. So the very first step in creating the plan for pillar 1 of the plan is you have to get more focused on who you want to work with. And a lot of times you can go back to the past clients that you worked with, see if you can find a pattern, or maybe you just want to completely start in a new arena in your business. So get really focused on who you want to work with, because it's not about you, it's about helping the other people give you referrals. That's what it's about. The second thing you need to be really clear on and share with people is the benefit that you provide. So Gerald, I have to tell you, you did a fantastic job of giving us a lot of benefit scenarios today. So that is what we need to be, that's what we need to know, because a lot of times what we tell people is features. So real estate agents will tell you, I'll go through your house, I'll turn on all the lights, I'll put these signs up that tell you specific features about your home, I'll make it smell like chocolate chip cookies in your house. Feature, feature, feature. Not the benefit, right? Not the benefit. So what is the benefit of working with this particular real estate agent who specializes in couples that are getting married in 12 months? Well, the benefit is she's been through that process herself. And so she knows that time and money are of great importance to this couple during this 12-month period, because they're planning and paying for a wedding too. So the benefit of working with this real estate agent is she's created a streamlined process that will help them save time and money. So you want to work with this particular real estate agent because she's created a streamlined process that will help them save time and money. That process could be, maybe the real estate agent goes through 10 houses and narrows it down to 2 for you to see. So they don't drag you through 10 houses, right? They only drag you through 2 because you've got your life and you're planning a wedding. And we all know when you plan a wedding, that kind of takes over your world for a while. So they streamline that process for time, and they streamline the money process. So maybe it's working with a particular mortgage broker that they've built a great relationship with that wants to really be able to put some numbers down for them so they know exactly how much money will come out of their pocket when they buy a house. Budget is super important when they're getting married. So if you can streamline the process for time and money when it comes to those couples, that's your benefit. So this real estate agent wants to work with couples that are engaged to be married in the next 12 months. Why would you want to work with this real estate agent? Because she has a very streamlined process that helps you with time and money. And we all know that's so important to you right now. Benefit, not features. The third step is we need to teach people how to recognize people that they can introduce to us. So let's go to the same scenario. Couples that are engaged to be married in the next 12 months. How will I know that they might be a good referral for you? Well, what if the bride is showing off her wedding ring? What if there's talk about showers? What if they're planning their honeymoon? If you overhear any of these things, they could potentially be a good referral for me. So now I've taught them who I want to be introduced to, the benefit of working with me, and now what will people be saying or doing that will let me know that they might need your product or service. So giving us what I call triggers. If I hear this, it's like, whoop, wait a minute, they might need Kim. Or if I see this, I'm like, oh, wait just a minute, they might need Rhoda. So you want to give them those triggers. Again, this is how you stay top of mind. People can walk away from all these meetings we have with them and they like you and they want to help you and they have every good intention of helping you, but they walk away, they get into their own world and you've given them nothing to remember you by, basically. They just liked you. We had a great meeting, but there's nothing to go forward with. And the only way you're going to get a referral from that person is if that referral drops in their lap. If somebody just blatantly says, I need printing. Okay, I know who I can give you to, but unless they say that to me, I'm so busy in my world doing what I do, I'm not going to think about you. So you need to give them the triggers, the things to look for and the things to listen for. So that's step 3. The 4th step is, how do I start a conversation? How do I start a conversation? It's, I told you I'm a member of BNI, and one of the things that drives me crazy is they'll just say, it happened this last week in our chapter, and somebody said, I'd like to be introduced to ABC Construction Company. Okay, I know somebody at ABC Construction Company. What do I say? How do I can't walk up to that person and say, hey, this window and doors guy wants to be introduced to you. You want to meet him? And my friend's going to be like, oh, why? Why? And I don't have an answer because he never gave it to me. So a conversation starter, or even better, questions that you can ask. So when you teach people some questions that they can ask, what they're doing is proactively creating a referral for you and pre-qualifying a referral for you. So questions people can ask proactively creates the referral, and it helps you pre-qualify that referral. So let's go back to our residential real estate agent. So if somebody, they've identified that it's a couple that's getting married in the next 12 months, they've shared the benefit, they've looked at the triggers, and now what do they say to that couple when they actually see them, or the bride or the groom? The question to ask is, where are you going to live after you're married? Simple, easy, and I can remember that, right? If you teach me that, I can remember that. A lot of times what we teach people is paragraphs worth of things that there's no way I can possibly remember and no way that I'm going to be able to ask people. Just 1 or 2 simple questions or statements is all you need to teach them. So if you ask them, where are you going to live once you get married? Maybe they say, well, we've been living together for the last 5 years, so we got a great home. That's where we're going to live. No referral for the real estate agent, right? What if they say, well, we each have a home and we're going to sell one and then move into the other's home? Okay, well, who's helping you with that is the next question. Who's helping you with that? Well, I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. We've been so busy planning the wedding. Well, you know what? I know a fantastic real estate agent. She specializes in working with couples that are engaged just like yourself. It's a very streamlined process because she understands that time and money are super important to you right now. I'd sure like to introduce you to her because I think you might be a good fit. Referral, pre-qualified. I know they're going to need to sell a house. That's all you have to do. Do you see how that can be it can be a 2-statement training, and it can be just a 1-sentence introduction that people can make. So when you're training somebody, I'm the residential real estate agent. I say to Andrew, thank you so much for asking how you can help me. If you know any couples that are engaged to be married in the next 12 months, I would sure like that introduction. And I'll tell you why, is because I know time and money are really important to them. And I have a very streamlined process that I put together that helps them with that. So if you notice anybody showing off their engagement ring or talking about showers or planning their honeymoon, could you just ask them this question for me? Where are you going to live when you get married? I just trained them. I just trained who I want to be introduced to, the benefit of working with me, triggers, and a question to ask. Super easy. And then they just remember that and they ask the questions. Where are you going to live after you get married? I came to this, and I'm going to watch my time because I'm going to stay on time for you, Keith, because I could go on for days. I could go on for days about this. It's my true passion. So I came to this in my business because I work with commercial property owners to reduce the real estate tax assessments. I still have that business, but I've downsized it quite a bit. And when I was asking people for referrals, the first thing that I got was people that were leasing their space. Well, if you don't own real estate, I can't help you. So somebody leasing their space wasn't a good referral for me. I would go meet with them and they'd always offer to introduce me to their landlord, but they never did. And so I thought, well, gosh, why did they give me that referral? I was so frustrated. Why'd they give me that referral? Well, because I didn't tell them not to. So then I fine-tuned my message with, I'm looking for people who own commercial real estate, right? And then the next thing I was getting was I was sitting in front of people that already had someone they were working with. And I'd be sitting across from them and they'd be, I don't know why you're here. And I'd say, I don't know why I'm here either. But hey, if you're ever unhappy with the person you're working with, then keep me in mind. And I never got a call. So I was wasting my time like crazy. So I put together 2 pre-qualifying questions. So the first thing is, do you own this building? That would be the first pre-qualifying question. So that gets rid of my leased people, right? And have you had your property taxes reviewed lately? 2 questions that I trained people to ask. The reason why is, first, I need to make sure they own the building. Second thing is, if I ask them that question, have you had your property taxes reviewed lately? They give 3 answers. One is, no, I didn't even know you could do it. Good referral. Or I had them reviewed a long time ago, but I should probably do that again. Good referral. Or yes, we have somebody we work with. No referral. So instead of spinning my wheels and wasting my time meeting with people that were never going to be my client and never going to make the introductions they promised to, I really fine-tuned my ask. And when I fine-tuned my ask, then I was spending my time meeting with potential clients. So it made a huge difference in my time. And almost all the referrals that I was referred to, I closed. So that's how I even came to this in my business, because it was first I started, why do they keep giving me these referrals? They're not good. I'm spending my time in front of these people that will never hire me. To, oh my gosh, they're giving me what I'm asking for. I'm not being specific enough. So when I got more specific and I actually told them the questions to ask, the pre-qualifiers, made all the difference in the world in my business. So I have a few more minutes, I believe. Is that correct, Keith? So let me expand a little bit on the value of narrowing your target market down and how you can find referral partners that nobody else has really found and really exponentially increase your business. So if the real estate agent has narrowed down their target market to couples that are engaged to be married in the next 12 months, that creates a whole different referral partner pool, if you will, than who real estate agents, the doors they typically knock. They want to build relationships with mortgage people and insurance people and title people. And some of those relationships can be great, except most mortgage people and insurance people and title people already have real estate agents they work with, multiple real estate agents they work with. So your chances of building a new relationship with one of them is pretty slim. You may get on their list. If you have narrowed it down to the couples that are engaged, then you've created a different set of referral partners. So who else are couples that are engaged to be married work with? Florists, DJs, limo drivers, wedding planners, jewelers. Those are your referral partners now, which sounds really bizarre that they are your referral partners when you're a residential real estate agent. But here's how that can work. I'm a real estate agent. I'm walking this engaged couple through a home to look at, and my referral partners have taught me what to ask, right? But the main question is, how's the wedding planning going? So I'm walking my couple through a house. I say, how's the wedding planning going? always a piece missing, right? Always, we know that. It's like everything's okay, but we can't find the DJ. Or everything is okay, but we haven't found the wedding ring, or we still got to get the wedding ring. There's always a piece missing in wedding planning. So when the agent says, how's the wedding planning going? And they say, we still haven't gotten a DJ. The agent can say, no problem. I got a great DJ. Don't know if he's got that date open or not, but I'd sure love to introduce you to this DJ and help you solve that problem. So now I have just become the best friend of the bride, probably, because she's probably the one doing the planning. I become the bride's best friend, and I created a referral for my referral partner, the DJ, as I am making money walking the couple through the home. So I've put in no extra energy or effort except to ask a question. So that's how the real estate agent creates referrals for their wedding partners. How does the wedding partner create the referral for the real estate agent? The same way we talked about before, sitting there making your flower list, the bride and the bride's mother likely, they're having a lot of conversation about flowers. The florist simply says, where are you going to live after you get married? They're going to answer. That likely can create a referral for the real estate agent. And then the florist says, I know a great real estate agent. They've got a really streamlined system to work with people just like you that are short on time and money, that are trying to sell a home or buy a home while they're planning a wedding. And who's helping you with that? And if they say, we don't have anybody right now, well, I'd love to introduce you to her. I think she could really help you. She specializes in working with people just like you. Florist is making money, taking a flower order, and has just given her referral partner, the real estate agent, a referral. So when you get really clear around your target market, that is how you create a whole different set of referral partners that nobody else has knocked on their door and asked to work with. I can guarantee you that there is no florist that a residential real estate agent has walked up to and said, can we build a referral partner relationship? So you're not knocking your head against where the mortgage people and the insurance people and the title people live. So there's 4 steps to the training. I want to go back over it again because I kind of threw a lot of things all at one time. So 4 steps to the training. So the first step is you have to know your ideal client, your target market, your avatar, whatever you call it. The second step is really hone in on your benefit. What is the after that somebody has when you're done working with them? What is the true benefit? What pain do you solve for people? They love your features, but the features are secondary to the pain you can solve for them. The third thing is triggers. What can I look for? What can I listen for that will let me know that they might be a good referral for you? And then the fourth thing is conversation starters or questions to ask. And a really good question to always include in that is, who's helping you with that? And then when you create that ideal client, then you want to start thinking about who else has that ideal client? Who else works with that ideal client? That's how you start to create your 3 to 5 referral partners. So this is step 1 of the system and the plan that I help people put together. So step 2 is about connections. It's about how, especially right now during this time, relationships are everything. And one of you was speaking about, Keith, you were about staying in contact with your clients, right? So the very bottom line you should do is stay in touch with your clients. But the next thing is all of your other relationships and connections. I call it the love them and leave them syndrome. I met with them and I told them what I do. And so now we're good. And you connect with them on LinkedIn and you just think now you got a new friend, but you don't. So what you need to do is you need to reconnect with them and you need to find ways to stay in front of them. So that's what I teach in the second pillar, how to reconnect and the different ways to stay in front of them without driving them crazy. The third part of the system is effectively networking, how you can, instead of just spinning with all the networking that you're doing, how you put a strategy around your effective networking. And then the fourth part of the system is your referral partners. When you get 3 to 5 well-trained referral partners working for you and you're working for them, it's over. You just sit at your desk and rake in the money and the referrals. It's over. So those are the 4 parts to the plan and the system that I teach, that I still continue to fine tune and hone. I tell people I can keep you from making the mistakes because I have made all of them. Let me tell you, I've kissed a lot of referral partner frogs. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. And so I continue to fine tune and hone that system. So I want to share with you, I have a Facebook group called Roadmap to Unlimited Referrals. I can put the link down in the chat for you. It's a private Facebook group, and I do free referral training in there every week. I've got about 160 business owners in there that interact with each other. If you would be interested, I would love to have you come in there and be part of my Facebook group. We'll do the trainings, like I said, and then we have a lot of really great people that interact. Yesterday, I asked a question in there, who are our veterans, so that we can recognize you. We had a great response. We had several amazing people in there that were veterans, and we got the opportunity to thank them for their service yesterday in the Facebook group. So that's the types of things that we do. And I try to make cross introductions in there as much as I possibly can. So I think I will end it there. Does anybody have any questions or anything else that they want to know about that I could share with you? Keith.
Hey, I'm writing all these notes down. I'm on the back end of my career, and I always had a target market that was not necessarily consumer. I liked agencies, federal agencies, state governments, those kinds of things. And so the referral process, the contractual process, slightly different. But I'm listening to you, and now I'm on the smaller end, different kind, more consumer clients. And one of these things you said, stay in contact, not bugging them to death. I try to stay in contact, but not bugging them to death. How do you handle that?
I'll tell you what, if you join my Facebook group, I will send you my 20 ways to stay in front of people without driving them crazy. There's a lot of different ways. Some are big, some are small.
The slogan, by the by. I love that.
Yeah. It's so you can do something as easy as make a comment in their Facebook, write them a Google review. Something really popular right now that makes a big impact is because we're so digital right now, everybody's online much, much more. I know that my LinkedIn profile is being reviewed much more than it ever has been. And so one thing that you can do for people is write them a LinkedIn recommendation, which is the same as writing them a testimonial. That's recommendation, testimonial, the same word, what LinkedIn uses. It's very easy. You go to their page, you click the spot where you can write it, you write them that testimonial. It sends an email to them, so it has the impact that they know you did it. And that's what's important when it's staying in front of them. They know you did it, but also a lot of people, when they get on your LinkedIn, the first thing they do is scroll down to your recommendations because it's your testimonials. So the more you have, the better you are. So it makes a huge impact with your connections. If you can, obviously you need to have interacted with them some way. Don't necessarily have to have done business with them. You just can be able to say really good things about them. So you can create a LinkedIn recommendation for someone. It sends it to their email, and they approve it and send it through to their LinkedIn page. Major impact, major impact. Basically what you're doing is not only staying in front of them, but what you are doing is putting deposits in that relationship bank account. And the more deposits you put into your relationship bank account, when we get to COVID or whatever's going on in the world, then you can go to those people and make withdrawals. My favorite book, my first networking book that I ever read was Harvey Mackay's Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. It's old. It's like 1992. Everything in there's outdated, right? Except for the concept of dig your well before you're thirsty. And that is something that I really, really pound into people right now, is in this day and age where we're not out meeting new people, we need to really make sure that we have strong, solid relationships that we're staying in front of. And so if you're making those deposits, when you get into a situation like with COVID-19 or something like that, and you need to make a withdrawal, they're there for you. So staying in front of those clients is not only about staying in front of them, it's about making deposits into that relationship bank account. So I've got 20 ways, and I'll join the Facebook group. I'll send that out to you because part of it's add your email address. I'll email it out to you, just different ways. And it's only 20. There's a bunch of ways to stay in front of them. That's just my top 20. So that I hope that answers your question, Keith. Long answer.
Gerald.
Is it a fair question to ask, do you charge for your services? And if so, how do you charge?
It's a very fair question to ask. Thank you very much. I have several different ways that I work with people. One is a one-to-one. So I have several one-to-one clients where we specifically put together their plan. I have a 12-week class that I teach, and that usually we have 8 to 10 people in there. And I teach each step of the plan each week it's an hour and a half. And then at the beginning of the year, I am launching an online class that will also have a once a month get on Zoom and ask me anything component to it. So that helps with people's time. So at the beginning of the year, I'll be doing an online class. So you can either work with me one-to-one through my 12-week class or my online classes. And yes, I do charge.
And so how much?
If you want to work one-to-one with me monthly, it's $400. And it's I don't put you in a 12-month contract. We work until we're done working. And then the 12-week class is $500. And then the online class is going to be $149 a month. And again, you'll learn at your own pace. And then once a month, you can get on and ask me anything.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Gerald. Thank you for asking.
Kim.
I have a question, Denise. Thank you very much for all your insight today. This is really great. You were talking about the referrals being basically the engine that fuels your business. And that's what I've been trying to form with my company is a bunch of referrals. But I think I don't have it straight in my head what a referral actually is. You've presented a different idea. From my perspective, I was always thinking, okay, if I'm doing business consulting and I focus on sending really great emails or something, and then I have a client that needs some other kind of work I can't do, I like to refer them out to someone. That's how I always thought of referrals, as I'm referring out to someone else. But your idea is referrals coming into me, working with basically a partnership that we have the same clients, but it would be work that would come to me, which is a nice way of thinking about it and maybe changing my perspective a little bit. So my question is, how do you feel about the monetary links with referrals? Because I do have a couple of companies that if I send them work, they will give me a little $15, monetary thing, which I don't really care about because it's not really going to do anything for my business. But do you think that's like an issue with customers? Do they feel like you're selling them something else if there's a monetary, if there's a dollar figure involved in that?
I think hopefully the customers don't know that's happening. I would say yes, I think they would feel that way.
Yeah.
Whenever you put money into that sort of thing, I've always found it gets messy.
Yeah.
And
icky.
the motivation is very, very different than just wanting to help each other, which is a much stronger motivation than money, because you're right. Who cares about the $15?
Right. In fact, I had been going back and forth with a couple of places, and I decided not to go with 2 of them because I was like, it's not about the money for me. I want to be able to solve a problem from my client, not worry about getting, a couple of dollars on the side. So thank you for giving me a different perspective on that. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome, Kim.
Neil, anyone else have any questions for Denise? Yes, ma'am. Jerry.
Yeah, well, I have to start with saying this was amazingly interesting, and thank you so much. During your talk, I was actually, a friend of mine from another networking group popped into my head, and I actually thought, oh my gosh, this other referral source would be perfect for him. And I'm like so excited to give him a call after this meeting to tell him. So thank you. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure I had a question, but I just felt like I had to share, like it was so interesting, and I'll probably be reaching out to you on the side, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hey, Tony?
Yeah, so Denise, what's a referral for you?
A referral for me is a small business owner that is conflicted about time. And that means they can't decide whether they need to be on 50 Zoom calls a week or whether they need to be doing what they do that makes money. So they're conflicted about time. Kimchi's dancing. So if you know someone who wants to drive more business through their door, but they're like, I just don't have any more time. I don't know. I stay up at night. I don't know if I've done enough. I'm working on the weekends. I conflicted about time. I can solve that problem for them.
Denise, I have a friend who he has a relatively new business, and he struggles with, frankly, I think he struggles with patience. And I kind of feel like he hasn't necessarily landed on what the right referral sources are for him. I don't necessarily think it's a struggle with time. I think it's honing in on who he needs to be trying to get as referral sources.
That's part of the plan. Yes.
Yeah.
It's time and planning. That's the two things that I hear the most. It's like, I don't have time. I'm always networking. I don't have time to make money. Or if I'm making money, I don't know where my next client's coming from. And the second thing is, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. I'm just going out there crazy, going 100 different directions. I don't know what to do. So those are the two problems that I solve is time and planning.
That Facebook group, would you be willing to put it into the chat so that I
Absolutely.
could?
Absolutely. I'll put the link in there.
May I share it with a couple of friends? Okay.
Yes, please share it. Yes, I would love as many people as I can get in there and share with and make connections. I would be more than happy.
Hey, Professor Praul, along with putting that Facebook information in this group meeting here, can you email that to me? Because I want to make sure that some of our members who may not be able to have made this meeting can get that information. This was really, really interesting. You know, people ask us, what is it that CBN does? You guys may not give us a lot of referrals. We are here to educate a specific group of individuals who are interested in broadening their education on their business. We're going to give you referrals, yes, but presenting Professor Praul, presenting Kim Gilbert, Jerry is going to be on later on. You know, this is what our group is. Denise brought up a point about like focus, narrow, etc. If someone asked you, what is CBN? Here's what we always say. It is a group that makes you smarter. If you don't want to be smarter, we may not be your group, but we make you smarter. And this was a perfect example. I've been in business 32 years. Won a few, lost a few. I learned a little bit today. I learned a lot today about like some things I'm lacking. I need to do a better job on it. So I like to keep us on time. Denise, thank you so much. You'll definitely be hearing from me. Hopefully you'll be hearing from some other members here. I also like to remind everyone, we do record this. It says it, you should have read it. So I always say that because I get people who will call me and say, I didn't know you were going to post this. It's like, no, I told you we were going to post it. So I do like to make sure and remind people that we are going to post this. I always close this thing by saying, hey, work on you. Work on you. If you do a really, really good job of taking care of you, you'll take care of everybody else. You get smarter as business people. So with that, I like to close with a smile and a wave. So if you guys will give me a smile and a wave, we'll be getting ready to get there. You go, Tony. I see you. You were hiding out there. But we have a speaker next week. Thank you, Professor Praul. This was really, really interesting to me. When you quit doing this, you can go get a job somewhere teaching at some academic area. So with that, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.